Good morning, everyone. Jim Laird joining you live from Grand Pacifica. I'm in my outdoor kitchen, so to speak, this morning. I have a big window here that opens up, so it's kind of nice to be able to do that from down here, do the podcast from down here. Last night, Dr. Stillman and I had a special announcement podcast slash webinar, you ever want to call it, where we went over some of the things we're adding to or have added and are adding to the Fundamentals of Wellness Mastermind coaching group class, whatever you want to call it. There's a link in the description about that. We have a special announcement there, a special offer. If you listen all the way to the end of the show from last night, you'll get the code for that special offer. So little reward for you for watching our stuff. But it was a great show. We went over a lot of the things that we're adding. We're adding a lot of really cool things to it. And I'm really looking forward to, I've had a bunch of people sign up here, and I'm going to be doing some onboarding calls with them here starting today. So that's going to be really a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing those onboarding calls. So that being said, the real reason people change, it's all about perspective. Kind of a fun title. It's an AI title, to be completely transparent. But I'm going to talk about why most people change. Most people don't change on their own. They're kind of made to. I know in my situations, when I had ulcerative colitis, I literally just pushed myself until I was bleeding, going to the bathroom, which is a very, very great incentive for you to change. When you're sitting on the toilet and you're bleeding, when you go to the bathroom, that's pretty much a really massive wake-up call. So for me, when I figured out like what I needed to do, part of it was diet, stress management, sleep, all those sort of things. It was really a negative. The avoiding the negative is what helped me stay disciplined. As far as like, okay, I've got to reel in how much I'm working. I've got to make sure I'm getting enough stress reduction. I started doing float tank, and my whole motivation behind changing my life was to avoid getting into that situation again. And that works really well for me, kind of. And you can also, some people will focus on the positives, like, okay, if I reduce stress, I'm going to be able to work harder and more efficiently. If I take better care of myself, I'm going to feel better. That works for some people. For me, it's like, okay, if I don't do these things, I'm going to blow up. That's essentially how it works for me. that's how I work. And then when I ended up, Rommel, your chew toy. No. This column is making a little too much noise. So, when I ended up getting an infection from a pedicure, that was another huge wake-up call for me that I needed to live a more outdoor lifestyle. And when I started getting outside more, I was having multiple reoccurring infections a year. And when I started, and a lot of it could be, how much is the placebo effect involved in this, right? No, I'm indoors, but I'm not indoors. So see, see that big window there that's wide open? So I'm technically outside, sort of, right? It's all natural light. This is my indoor kitchen. So, but yes, so I'm sort of indoors, but I'm not. So I have this huge outdoor window here, which is great. And I've got a nice breeze coming through here. But when I ended up getting almost had my right leg amputated, that was a huge wake-up call for me living an indoor life, because I learned how much sun managed and drove the immune system and your entire body in general. And that was a huge, I was getting reoccurring infections that came back in the form of like a cold or an extreme flu without respiratory symptoms. And I was having to go on all sorts of antibiotics and stuff. So the motivating factor behind, was not only health, but was the fear of getting one of these infections and then, not being able to survive it because I was running out of antibiotics. So for me, once again, the fear of destruction is essentially what kept me from um, being stupid, right? So, and that's kind of some people. It's like the electric fence, right? You hit the electric fence and bzz, and it zaps you, and you stay away from the electric fence so you don't get zapped. That's essentially how I have to learn the hard way. And some people, I'm a little smarter now, where I understand, like, if I don't treat myself as well, if I don't get as good a sleep, my energy is going to suffer. I'm not going to feel as good. So a lot of the things that I do are to gain the positive aspects of it. But again, a lot of the things that I do are a fear of crashing and burning, right? Because I've experienced the crashing and burning with my colitis, and then also having these reoccurring infections that I was having that I haven't had since I started living a more outdoor life. And that's one of the reasons I've moved down here to Nicaragua, so I can live a more outdoor life. And as I've gotten older, getting closer to the equator has definitely helped my health. So for some people, focusing on the positive benefits of, like, okay, I'm going to eat good food because it makes me feel great and all that sort of thing, works for some people. And, the opposite of that works for other people too. I'm going to focus on eating good food. I'm going to focus on stress reduction, because if I don't, then I'm going to end up, in a bad place. So you kind of have to pick what works for you. And unfortunately, I'm one of those people that have to learn the hard way. Gotten smarter as I've gotten older. Um, so that's just kind of what works for me. And it's really interesting how that works for some people. Well, some people won't even ever push themselves hard enough to crash their car, right? And then other people like me will, you know, crash their car multiple times at high speeds. And then maybe they learn and maybe they don't. As I've gotten older, I've gotten a lot smarter about it. So, but everyone has their point where they learn or they don't learn. And people have to be willing to make changes. And it's really consistency over time. It's behavior, consistency over time. And for me, now, it's not so much out of fear that if I don't get up every morning, if I don't get outside, I'm going to get sick. Now it's transitioned into I do it because I love it. I love getting out in the morning. I love the way it makes me feel. I love what it does for my health, my energy, and it's just great. I mean, going out on the beach every morning you can't really beat it, right? So that's basically the motivation that I have behind. But sometimes in the beginning, the motivation might be what we call hell insurance or fire insurance in the beginning. And then it transforms into, this makes my life more enjoyable, more, more fulfilling, more energy, because I'm getting the things in my life that I need. So there's just a few things for you to think about right now during this New Year's resolution kind of time. And just remember, it's consistency over time. It's little things done consistently daily, whether you're doing it out of fear or you're doing it out of joy. Both can be equally effective. So have yourself a great day. Make sure you get outside today. Super duper important. And then go watch that show that Dr. Stillman and I did. The link's in the description below. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.